Meantime, Canal International struggled in vain to reach out to the mayor for comments, but information gathered from anonymous sources say 5 unidentified armed men stormed and surrendered the mayor's residence before setting it ablaze. In a related development, an audio message sent out by the divisional officer for whom Goe Godfrey is heard condemning the arson, attributing it to separatist fighters. Further information gathered indicates that there were no security agents on site at the time of the attack. Since the Anglophone conflict erupted in 2016, transforming into an armed conflict, many homes and public buildings have been set ablaze.
The search for cooking gas in Douala, Cameroon is real. All day long, bike riders are seen with empty cooking gas cylinders riding from one neighborhood to the other just in case they find a depot or a shop that still has supply. The domestic gas has been scarce for the past several weeks. I am out to buy cooking gas, but I just discovered it is not available. It is scarce. I am from the airport area. I have been to Ndokoti, Pekawit, and Carrefour Ajib in search of cooking gas, but to no avail. I am still searching. The scarcity is affecting petite businesses that use domestic gas in their activities. Some are obliged to use their networks to get supply. I was lucky to have called my neighbor who delivers cooking gas to some shops, and he linked me with one of them. Thank God I bought a bottle of 25 kilograms of cooking gas, and it was the last but one bottle I bought. I have a cafeteria, and my cooking gas got finished this morning. Some neighborhoods have gone for days and even weeks without cooking gas. Distributors have turned down every attempt we made to get answers to the current scarcity.
The recent contrived scarcity of cooking gas has pushed many consumers in Cameroon's metropolis to switch to charcoal and stoves as an alternative to cooking gas.
Vu la lutte de la situation, on pense acheter le four à charbon et ça serait pas facile pour nous.
Many homes and food vendors who now bank on charcoal and stoves are complaining of the inconveniences that go with the use of these alternatives. Charcoal, for example, is not only slow, but known to produce black soot that makes the environment filthy. They further complain the scarcity has reduced their revenue base.
C'est que l'avocat. Et les clients sont fatigués de demander l'avocat.
À des fois, on va seulement fermer le comptoir. Parce qu'avec le charbon, ça ne peut pas aller.
Others say they have reserved cooking gas cylinders for any unforeseen circumstance.
Ils ont dit que c'était en rupture et c'était la dernière bouteille. Ils nous ont donné ça à 7,500.
To this vendor, she managed to buy a bottle of gas she's using for 7,500 francs instead of 6,500 francs. This comes at a time when many are suffering from high cost of living.
As the city of Douala keeps expanding, so too urbanization comes with a lot of challenges. Amongst them is a crucial problem of intra-city transportation. Commuting from one part of the town to another is like a camel passing through the eye of a needle. Taxis have dismally become scarce as commercial bikes have taken control of the transportation sector. This sector is attracting more youths by the day. The conspicuous absence of taxis has pushed almost 90% of the population to swing to motorbikes as a preferred means of transport.
However, the sector has a major problem, that of overloading, especially during rush hours. The country is difficult. We're experiencing hard times. Everything has gone up, and we can't cope as bike riders if we don't overload. Another major issue is that of rising insecurity. Many people have been victims in one way or the other as they climb on bikes with people they don't know. I don't like to be squeezed up by a man on a bike. I prefer a woman. Men are most often ill-intentioned. Meantime, transport syndicate have cautioned passengers to shun such illegal practice which exposes them to enormous risk. They have equally warned bike riders to disease from the practice or face sanctions soon.
The content of his head load different from what he's holding in his hands. The common factor is that they are all for sale. And as early as 6 a.m., Daniel is up and moving to catch up with the early birds or those going home. Cigarette sweets like sachet local whiskies, early morning demands. Along the day, paper wrappings like other market bag he's holding are also being sold. Mokolo, central like A to the market, he just keeps going through neighborhoods as his legs and eyes can carry. Sweet words, what he used to lure buyers as he hustled around. At the end of the day, his pockets might not be empty, but enough to make ends meet. Hope more ignited. When he feels deep down, he's having something like the others. Like him and many other hawkers who are in the petty ambulance business, their own way to eradicate poverty meets family nutritional needs. This October the 17th is the International Day for the Eradication of Poverty. Poverty seen as a violation of human rights, the goal number 1 of the SDGs. UNESCO is convinced that the sustainable fight against poverty requires a strengthening of individual capacities through education, science, and support for a creative economy, sources of employment, pride, and dignity.
Plantain in abundance in Ambam, south region of Cameroon. Heaps of this food crop found in every street corner, markets and public spaces. Border closure between Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea and delay in supply due to the poor state of farms to market routes have been raised as reasons for the abundance. The roads are bad. Vehicles transporting goods from farms to markets arrive when customers from Gabon are all gone. That is why we are stocked with plantain and we auction them in Ambam. There is no road in my area and in Vilayet. I hired a truck that carried my goods, but because of bad roads, it spent a week and a half before reaching here. There is no way I can sell. Supply is more than demand, and this has automatically led to a drastic drop in prices. A bunch of plantain in Ambam now sells between 500 CFA francs and 1,500 francs CFA. The drop in prices favors buyers, but traders lament. We are happy with a bunch of plantain for 500 francs a whole family can feed. Whereas when there is scarcity, 4 fingers of plantain sell at 500 francs CFA. I sell a bunch for 500 francs CFA and 2 bunches for 750 francs. It is painful, my business capital is down. With abundance of plantain in Ambam, restaurant owners now prepare the food crop in all forms to serve their customers.
The transportation and conservation of agricultural products has been described as a veritable nightmare for producers. In addition to transportation and conservation problems, traceability is another complex equation to handle. These are major problems raised by master students at the University Institute of Technology, IUT, Douala. Defending their thesis on these problematics of trade links, they attempted solutions to the problematic transportation techniques, which remains an essential link in commercial exchanges for all logisticians. They are convinced that traceability is most lacking in transactions. This system will enable different enterprises from its transformation stage right up to the finished products. I demonstrated the needs and importance of transportation, which is essential and a criteria for global logistics. I equally showcased how modes or means of transportation and how it could be modified and adapted to the present needs and how it impacts the economy of enterprises.
Sur l'économie de l'entreprise.
They are master students who have shown their savoir-faire in companies already.
Ils ont essayé, n'est-ce pas?
With knowledge learned, they will have to provide solutions to our companies in order to ameliorate production and yearly income.
N'est-ce pas, les délais dans les livraisons.
If international trade relies on transport, a successful transfer, according to students, fructifies exchanges.
The rampant owning and usage of arms and light weapons by individuals in Cameroon nowadays is a major call for concern.
Even though our law permits for civilians to own weapons, but it's a whole process, and you need to know that process. The moment you're owning that weapon, not going through that law, then the weapon becomes illegal.
And just like Cameroon, the phenomenon is rapidly growing at the global scene.
It is being seen all over the world that with the current dynamics, the arms are in the center of any negotiations. All diplomatic efforts that you see around the world today are related to the arms control.
It is against this backdrop that the diplomacy of arms control, proliferation and disarmament cause is coming into play here at the International Relations Institute of Cameroon, IRIC, to drill participants on some of the key issues. An initiative of Cameroon Youth and Students Forum for Peace.
Climate change remains an increasing threat to Africa, according to climate change experts. Reports from United Nations climate change have shown increasing threats for human health, food, water security, and socio-economic development of Africa. More reason why communities and governments must act and fast.
Whether we like it or not, climate change is real. And this is the moment for all of us to stand up and act. After no action is little to bring change.
This capacity building workshop in Limbe, Cameroon, October 14, marks the launch of the African Reality Project.
That really tells the story of one of our climate reality leaders, Ewi Stephanie Lama, and the work she's doing to involve and build the capacities of youth, women and rural communities to have a say and participate in decision-making processes.
People were inspired to take action within their own local communities, amongst their own groups of women, of young people, and to really put their indigenous knowledge to the fore.
Climate reality leaders shared inspiring stories, while videos projecting works of communities were presented.
Calling on everybody to come on board, the government, the individuals, smallholder farmers, investors, organizations, and support actions that will contribute in seeking climate solutions.
This is in build-up to COP27.
Before the medium men and women this Monday, the Italian ambassador to Cameroon launches the activities that mark the celebration of the Italian Language Week in Cameroon.
Goal is to let the people know what we would like to achieve during this Italian Language Week in Cameroon, to give an idea of the passion that inspires us into this event.
Introduced in Cameroon in 1995 at the University of Chang, the Italian language equally started at the University of Marwa in 2011, and today there are Cameroonian Italian language teachers in schools across the country, proof of their expertise in this week's activities.
There will be an animation. The student will be involved, closed this week through the execution of this opera in Italian language, but music of Mozart.
The press conference at the Italian embassy in Yaoundé was an occasion to call on people to come and discover the beauty of the Italian language this 21st and 22nd October at Saint Cecile Academy in Bankola neighborhood in Yaoundé.
Canal International.